What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Cleveland Browns franchise here on Madden 26. Today, we have a big episode, as we always have a big episode when it comes to changing the landscape of the NFL. We do it every year. This time, there's some pretty interesting teams that are going to be entering a quote unquote rebuild. So let's get into it. We don't really talk much about the Browns because the Browns are the perfect team at this point. We don't really need to trade anybody, so we're probably not going to be involved in any of these trades. But we can just sit back and watch the rest of the league implode as we secure our third straight Super Bowl. So let's go into the video. If you're going to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe channel, join the Juice Club. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. So if you want to help me get to that mark, make sure you hit that subscribe button, join the Juice Club, and let's go see just how much the NFL changes after today. So we are obviously the Cleveland Browns. We're 7-1. We're having the greatest season we've ever had in terms of offensive production and defensive production put together. Julian Enriquez is an MVP candidate. Our running back room is unbelievable. Our wide receivers are fantastic. And we're 7-1. We arguably should be undefeated, but we had a slip up where we have a one loss. But we take on the Patriots today, my favorite team. So it's going to hurt me a little bit to win this game, but we're going to have to do it. And then we take on the Titans, and the Titans are a curious case because if we go over here to the standings, the Titans are 2-6 and they are god awful. Really, the entire division or the entire conference is bad. It's really just us and the Jets that are the only two good teams. Which, if you take take that out of context, the Browns and the Jets are the two best teams in the AFC. Like, what year is this? 1965? What are we doing? This is out of control. But we are here with a 7-1 record. The Jets are 7-2, so we have that advantage on them. But there's a lot of just mediocre to bad in the AFC. So if we go to look at the standings, we go to look at the worst teams in the NFL. The Seahawks are the only winless team right now in the NFL. They are 0-8, so we will be blowing them up. The Dolphins are 1-7. We've already done that. They're already part of their rebuild. So this is part of the growing process with the Dolphins. They've already sent away a lot of their pieces, so we're not going to be touching them. The Broncos, we will be blowing up. The Texans, we will be blowing up. The Titans, we won't be doing because we've already touched them previously. So same thing with the Dolphins, we won't be doing them again. But the Jaguars are the other team. We have 4 teams today that are going to be getting rid of their pieces that are actually worth something. And then we are going to see if they can get some assets back in return, whether it's younger players or draft picks or whatever it may be. That's what we're going to be doing today. So let's get into it. Let's start with the first team, obviously the worst team, the only winless team in the NFL, the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, so we're here with Seattle, and we are going to blow their team up. What do they have that's worth something? They did make a trade back a couple of years ago when the Saints were in this situation where they blew up and sent Chris Olave to Seattle to team up with his Buckeye brother, Jackson Smith-Njigba. So, obviously, you got to trade Kenneth Walker. He's 27. He's a 95 overall. This is about as good as he's ever going to be. You probably don't have to trade Jackson Smith-Njigba. You can probably build around him a little bit more. Devin Witherspoon, you can trade Tariq Woolen for sure. Chris Olave you can trade. Nick Amanawari is still young, so him and Jackson Smith-Njigba can be those two building pieces. But everybody else, Deron Payne certainly can get traded. Byron Murphy probably can even get traded because he's not developing like they want him to. Charles Cross can probably get moved. There's a lot of pieces that are probably worth something that can definitely get moved. And obviously you have young quarterback Amani Torrance, who was in the same draft class as Julian Enriquez, our quarterback, and we chose Enriquez, and it turned out pretty well. Seattle chose Torrance, and it has not worked out that well for him. We'll see if he can turn that around. But let's start off by finding a Kenneth Walker trade. Now, their backup running back at this point is Jalen Wright and Carlos Colon, so they have a young rookie running back that they would probably like to get some reps. And Kenneth Walker can probably bring them a decent value. I would say maybe not a first-round pick, although I wouldn't mind a change of scenery for Keon Coleman. Although they do have James Cook, so that probably doesn't make much sense to send them both James Cook and Keon Coleman. So, or and Kenneth Walker. So the Bills are probably out of it. But that would be a nice change of pace, change of scenery for Keon Coleman. I wouldn't hate that. The Chargers are fine with running backs. The Chiefs, on the other hand, I would hate making the Chiefs better, giving them Kenneth Walker, but they're giving them a young superstar guard plus two third round picks is not a bad idea. A veteran wide receiver in Terry McLaurin, I don't really like. A first round pick in 2031 from the Dolphins, but the Dolphins are in a rebuild. They don't need an older, aging running back who's expensive, somewhat expensive. The Niners, they probably don't have McCaffrey anymore, do they? The Niners could be a candidate. Who do they have? They still have McCaffrey. He's a 90 overall. They don't really. They're an old team. They are a really, really old team and expensive. They are a very expensive team as well. I'm sure the Niners in a couple of years will be one of those teams that we have to rebuild because they are an expiring team. They are an old team, expensive team. We'll see what happens. But they don't really need Kenneth Walker because they got Christian McCaffrey still. They've got Tavon Cage who can be something for him. So I don't think they need a guy like Kenneth Walker. Any other options out here? We've got the Jets with Nolan Smith in a second. Okay, the Jets might be something. I mean, the Jets are pretty good. They're 7-2, so they could be a viable candidate for a win now type of running back. We'll take a look at the Jets in a second. The Lions, I don't think the Lions need a running back. They have Jahmyr Gibbs. Patriots have Travion Henderson. The Rams, okay, the Rams could be an option. We'll take a look at the Rams. The Ravens, maybe, but they're not having a great season, so they don't really need Kenneth Walker. Although getting rid of Roquan Smith out of the division would be nice. Kool-Aid McKinstry and the Saints, Jimmy Cantu and the Titans, and then Jordan Addison and the Vikings. I think my two prime candidates are either the Jets or the Rams. Let's take a look at the Jets first. The Jets could be a very good piece. I mean, they are. Oh, they still have Breece Hall. That's right. So they probably don't need a guy like. And they have Zach Charbonnet. They have a couple of young running backs. Okay, so the Jets, even though they're 7-2, they don't need a win now type of running back. I forgot about. I don't know why I forgot about Breece Hall for a second. And then we'll take a look at the Rams as well. Do they still have Blake Corum and what's his face? They have Kyron Williams, who's 28, so they don't need another running back. Okay, so a lot of my options. I mean, the running back market in the NFL is just really good. It's in a really good spot. A lot of teams have a really good running back. The Vikings were another interesting one, but they have Dylan Sampson from us, the Cleveland Browns, from a couple of years ago. Or actually, I don't think we sent him to the Vikings. He must have just ended up here. But he is an 87 overall, so he's turned into quite the good player. Good for him. So if we just go around the league and we look at teams that need a running back, the Bears could definitely use a running back. Everybody else here is in a good spot for the moment. The Jaguars could use a better running back than Travis Etienne. I could definitely see the Jaguars doing it, but the Jaguars are also in the process of being blown up, so they don't really need another running back like that. The Packers, I could definitely see getting a Kenneth Walker. They do have Jason Dixon, who has a hidden dev, but maybe a win now. I mean, Jalen Warren's on the 1 year deal. He's not expensive at all. I could see Kenneth Walker going to Green Bay. The Ravens we looked at, but they have Justin Halen, who I'm sure they're going to extend. He's only 24 with Star Dev. That wouldn't be a smart idea to send him to the Ravens. I like either the Bears or the Packers. The Bears make a lot of sense because one, they can already afford his contract without having to trade anybody back in return. And they have a couple of young running backs, but nobody that's like ready to go. And the Bears were just in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. They made it to the NFC Championship last year, I think, or maybe they went to the divisional round and lost. They had a disappointing run last year, but they're still a good team. If we look at this team overall, I mean, you've got Caleb Williams on a massive contract. They gave him an 8-year extension or maybe a 9-year extension. I don't know. But they gave him a max contract. You've got a good corner in Jalen Johnson who's turned into an X factor. You've still got a Dunze and Luther Burden. I mean, you're a win now team. The Bears are a win right now type of team, and giving them Kenneth Walker would give them that running back that they're missing. But if we go to the Packers are a team that is probably a running back away as well. They have Jalen Warren, like we talked about, but he's on a 1-year deal. They probably wouldn't re-sign him. You've got an older Romeo Doubs, who I could definitely see sending in a trade since he's expensive. You could probably send him back to Seattle in the trade, plus a couple of draft picks. It's really a toss-up. I mean, I think the Bears make the most sense because the Bears are certainly a running back away, but the Packers, you could argue, are more than just a running back away. And sending Kenneth Walker to Green Bay probably wouldn't make the most sense. But if we're trying to get him to a team that fits the best, I think the Bears make the most sense. So the Bears are going to be the team that we trade with. And now all we got to do is figure out the package to send back to the Seattle Seahawks. It's obviously going to be at least one first round pick, maybe a second, but for a 28-year-old running back, doesn't seem like the most sense to send another first round pick, maybe at least one first round pick, plus maybe a couple young players. Seattle's looking for a young corner or a corner. You've got Kyler Gordon, you've got Jalen Johnson, Dylan Henson, Keely Ringo. So the Bears' depth at corner is not great. I mean, Keely Ringo going back to Seattle probably doesn't fix their problem, but it would give them a little bit. So maybe we do a first round pick, a second round pick, and Keely Ringo for Kenneth Walker. I could certainly see something like that go through. I don't think the Bears would be willing to give up their rookie corner, who's a 79 overall with really good potential. I don't think they would be willing to do that, but they probably would be willing to give up give up Keely Ringo, and maybe they'd also be willing to throw in Jaquan Brisker as a salary filler, because Jaquan Brisker is really making too much money to be on this team, and they already have a better player in Demarius Tart. Okay, let me put something together and see what happens. Okay, I've come away with a trade package that I think is going to be good enough for both teams. Obviously, the Bears don't need their draft picks because they're hoping to win a Super Bowl, and winning the Super Bowl means you're going to have bad draft picks anyway. So they would probably be more willing to get rid of these picks to get a Super Bowl. And they're only giving up one first round pick, which happens to be this year's first. Seattle gets back a couple of picks, a first round pick, a second round pick this year, and then a second round pick next year. They also get back an aging Jaquan Brisker, which is more of just a salary filler type of guy. They don't really need a strong safety. They got Nick Manowari. So it's really just a, hey, you take this guy and we'll see what happens. I mean, he's got way too much money. I think he's on the last year of his deal. Is he on the last year of his deal? Yeah, he's on. So it's a half a year rental. You probably don't re-sign him, and then Jaquan Brisker goes in free agency and see what happens. So he's just salary filler for the Bears to free up a little bit more cap space. And then Keely Ringo's the main player pick of this because Seattle right now at corner is in need of a third corner. They've got Devin Witherspoon, they've got Tariq Woolen, they've got Chris Abrams-Drain, but they could definitely use another corner on this team, and Keely Ringo fits that, and especially since we're probably going to be trading Tariq Woolen anyway. So I like this deal. I'm going to send it through, and it is accepted. That is your trade for Kenneth Walker. He is now a Chicago Bear. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us as the Cleveland Browns. And we have to play the Bears in the Super Bowl or something. So now that he's gone, we can start a trade with Tariq Woolen and Chris Olave. Do these two guys have any sort of value on their own? Yeah, I mean, they've got decent value. I'm not surprised by the value that Tariq Woolen's bringing in. He's still a quality player in the game. But if we take a look at teams around the NFL who need a number one or number two corner, who's in desperate need of a corner? The Chargers are definitely in need of another corner. They've got L'Jarius Sneed, who's 31, and he's not that good anymore. So Tarheeb still could definitely use a running mate. So the Chargers are an option. The Colts could be an option. You've got a young Elijah Shivers, but your rest of your cornerback room is aging, which, to be fair, so is Woolen, but the Colts definitely could use somebody. The Dolphins could, but they're not in the market for a guy of Woolen's capabilities. You've got really nobody else. I mean, then we come back to the Packers, but the Packers can't afford him. They'd have to give up probably Nate Hobbs to send back, but then that doesn't do anything for the for the Seahawks. I kind of like the idea of a Charger trade. We come back to the Rams. The Rams could definitely use a corner like Tariq Woolen, but I think that Charger deal makes the most sense. Titans aren't in the market. Titans have a ton of cap room, but they're not in the market for a corner. At least not because they're trying to rebuild, so they're not in the market for an aging corner. But I think the Chargers could definitely be in the market for a guy like Tariq Woolen, because the Chargers, again, same thing with the Bears. They're a win now team. They are a win now type of. They're in the window is open for the Chargers. Well, whether they're able to get through it or not is a different story. But the Chargers are in their win now type of stuff. You got Justin Herbert on a 2-year deal. He's 30. You're trying to get him as much help as possible to try to get a Super Bowl before his contract expires, and you got to pay him again, or he just leaves. The only problem with the Chargers is they have no cap room, so they'd have to send back something decent in return. The Seahawks could use draft picks, obviously. We'll send some draft picks back. I don't know if Tariq Woolen goes for a first, maybe a next year first. I don't know if he's worth a first this year, maybe a two this year, and a one next year. But what do the Seahawks need that the Chargers have in abundance? They don't have very good offensive line help. They do have Tuli Peloto, and Jordan Birch, both decently young, and Chop Robinson. So maybe an edge rusher goes on the other side. Their edge rusher depth is fairly good. I could definitely see the Chargers sending a edge rusher back in return. They'd probably also have to send L'Jarius Sneed back to fill the cap room, or maybe they can get away with it. Let me try to put a package together first of Tui Peloto. He's on a 1-year deal, or he's on the last year of his deal, so he goes back. Maybe the Seahawks, they have cap room. Maybe they end up re-signing him. Who knows? And then they'd probably have to take back somebody else. I mean, they do have to take back somebody else. You know what? Let me put a package together, get the cap room all figured out, and get the money figured out, and then the draft picks, and then I'll bring you back when I have the actual deal done. All right, so I'm giving this deal to the Chargers and the Seahawks. I think this is going to end up being good for both teams. The Chargers have a mindset of we want to win now. They need an extra corner. Tariq Woolen fits that bill. And the price might seem a little bit expensive for Tariq Woolen. He's 29. He's an aging corner, but a first round pick next year, a second round pick next year, plus a 2 this year, and then you get Tuli Peloto and Jack Sanborn basically just for the fill. And the Seahawks have cap room. Maybe they re-sign Tuli Peloto if they want to. But this is going to be the deal done for the Chargers. Seahawks get back some draft capital, and the Chargers get a player to win now. And I think one more trade is in the books for Seattle. I think it's going to be a combination of Chris Olave and probably Byron Murphy. He's also pretty expensive. He's 25, so he might fetch a little bit of a deal. Or maybe you flip Jaquan Brisker. You get him back in a deal. Nah, it's got to be Daron Payne. We'll keep Byron Murphy. Chris Olave, Daron Payne are going to be in the deal. And then these two guys put together might get you... Would a team give a first round pick for these two guys? Maybe. Depends on the team. Let's start with wide receiver. Who's in need of a wide receiver like Chris Olave? The Broncos, but the Broncos are a team that we're going to be tackling in a second, so they're not in the market for a wide receiver. Who else is in the market for a receiver? I mean, the Eagles certainly could, but they can't afford both guys, so really most teams can't afford this. It could be Carolina, but they don't need a wide receiver. It could be the New England Patriots, which Patriots are not really in the market for a guy like Chris Olave. What about Daron Payne? No, they don't need a D tackle at all, so they're good. They are good. So the Patriots are out. The Raiders could use Chris Olave. What about defensive tackle Daron Payne? Yeah, I mean, you got Christian Wilkins on a 1-year deal. You got Daron Payne, I think, on a 1-year deal, and then Ty Hamilton. Okay, the Raiders are our first viable team. Rams can't afford. Ravens can't afford. The Titans can, but they don't need it. All right, so there's really only there's only a couple teams that can afford these two guys put together. I think we're going to do that Raider deal. It's just a matter of sending a good amount back in return. So what do the Seahawks need that the Raiders have? The Seahawks could use a center. Do the Seahawks have, or the Raiders have a center that's not worth anything? I mean, you got Jackson Powers Johnson. Does that really do anything for Seattle? Maybe. The depth at offensive line for the Raiders is not that good. I wouldn't mind Christian Wilkins going back on a 1-year. It's basically like a 1-for-1 swap. You get Daron Payne, they get Christian Wilkins, and then we toss in maybe a young player and a couple of draft picks. What kind of young player can we get for them? I'm gonna have to think about it. Let me build a trade again, and then this will probably be the final one for the Seahawks. Okay, so I've built a decent trade for both teams. The Raiders are getting 2 pieces that maybe they choose to re-sign. They've got a lot of cap room. Unfortunately, the experiment in Seattle did not work with Chris Olave. It is what it is, but Maybe the quarterback's the problem. Who knows? But he's going to go find another team. The one-for-one swap with Deron Payne and Christian Wilkins. And then I found a running back for the Seahawks to possibly fill the Kenneth Walker shoes, or at least give them something viable for a little bit until they find their actual replacement. And the Raiders don't need a backup running back. You've got Ashton Genty, who's still young and good. So you don't need another running back. So Grant Harper can go to Seattle and maybe explode into a top running back. You never know. And then 2 second-round picks, one this year, one next year. And that'll be the final trade for the Seattle Seahawks. Now let's take a look at the assets that the Seahawks have now that they have blown up the team. So you still got Jackson Smith and Jigba. You've got your building blocks. You've got Devon Witherspoon, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Nick Manowari. Those three guys alone can be the building blocks of this new team. Plus, you've got a new addition in Tui Peloto. Maybe you re-sign him. That's already a pretty good piece. You've got Byron Murphy still. There's pieces in place for the Seahawks team to develop and turn into a good team again. And you've got Amani Torrance. It really all hinges on what Amani Torrance does. And then your draft capital is really good. You've got 2 first-round picks this year, including the #1 overall pick from your own team. Then you have a bunch of seconds. You got 4 second-round picks. You got a third, 2 4s, a 5, 2 6s, and a 7. Then next year you got 2 more first-round picks, and then a bunch of seconds. You're loaded up. If I'm the Seattle Seahawks, I'm loving the situation I'm in right now. Yes, it's a brutal season to go through right now, but there's a vision. There is a vision here. Maybe you re-sign Christian Wilkins, maybe you don't. Maybe you trade him in the offseason before he's expiring. But there is a vision here with Seattle where you let Jaquan Brisker go. That frees up money. You let Christian Wilkins go. That frees up money. You let anybody else go that you don't want. That frees up money. And then you're really back. If you hit on your draft picks and you develop your quarterback, this team could be back in the playoffs by next year if Amani Torrance is able to develop. So Seattle is now done. The next team that we're going to take control of and try to help out is going to be the Denver Broncos. If you're a Denver Bronco fan, I suggest you probably look away for this because this could hurt your heart. This Denver team is in a bad spot. You've got Bo Nix, who has not developed. We just played this Broncos team and lost to them, though. This Bronco team was the one team that gave us the team that gave us our one loss in a couple episodes ago. But you've got an old Bo Nix who is extremely expensive. Like extremely expensive. And do you really want to try to go with Bo Nix? Or is it time to say, you know what? The Bo Nix experiment did not end up going the way that we wanted it to. It's time to move on. That's a reasonable question. Also, do you trade Patrick Surtain? Because if you trade Patrick Surtain, you can probably get at least 2 first-round picks, maybe even 3, if it's the right team. I think you probably trade Quinn Miners. You probably trade Hufanga. You probably trade Nick Bonito. You got to get some money back. But I think Bo Nix could be on the move. Now, the problem with trading Bo Nix is, one, there's got to be a team that can afford him. And two, is there even a team that needs a quarterback of Bo Nix's capabilities? You've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who might be wanting to look to move on from Baker Mayfield. That's a possibility. You've got the Arizona Cardinals, who already have Tua, and that seems to have not really worked. You've got the Colts, but the Colts don't need a quarterback. They're trying to build Stockton. You've got the Cowboys, who are extremely expensive with Dak Prescott. But Bo Nix would come in and immediately start for the Cowboys. You've got the Dolphins. You've got the Falcons. Maybe the Falcons be looking to move on from Michael Penix. It could be a swap there. You've got Trevor Lawrence, but we're already looking to move Trevor Lawrence in a different deal. Although, oh no, they've got the rookie quarterback. I was gonna say maybe you send Trevor and Bo and switch them up, but it doesn't make any sense because they've got Braxton Cousins. They probably want to start him. That's the whole reason we're going to be trading Trevor Lawrence in the first place. The Jets don't need him. The Lions don't need him. The Packers no longer have Jordan Love. You've got Devin Wilford. Do they want a quarterback right now? We talked about how the Packers could be in a win-now situation. The Rams are already expensive with Jared Goff. The Steelers have Steven Rodgers, but they might have started Anthony Richardson over him now. That's going to be interesting. The Vikings have J.J. McCarthy. They've already committed so much money to J.J. Man, there's a couple teams here that I could see. There's a couple of teams here that I could definitely see taking on a quarterback like Bo Nix. I don't mind the Jared Goff one. I think Jared Goff to the Broncos as a 1 year deal, and then Bo Nix comes into the Rams and maybe he helps them. But I'm kind of, ever since I saw the Cowboy deal, I don't hate sending Bo Nix to the Cowboys. Now, the only problem with sending Bo Nix to the Cowboys is the Broncos can't afford Dak Prescott, so they'd have to start Max Brosmer or Brady Cook, unfortunately, which doesn't really help them. But I don't mind sending him to the Cowboys because I think the Cowboys could use a change of pace. They've got a team that's ready to go, and maybe Bo Nix comes in and gives them that chance because Dak Prescott clearly is not getting the job done as much as they'd like to think that. You still got Micah Parsons. I mean, you were just in the Super Bowl, to be fair. So maybe Dak Prescott is the guy for them. I don't know. I'm not sure where I want to go. It's probably going to be either the Cowboys, the Packers, or the Rams. Those are kind of the teams that I'm debating right now on who it's going to go to, who Bo Nix is going to go to. The Packers have Devin Wilford, but they're kind of in a win right now type of mode, like we were talking about with Kenneth Walker. And maybe they need a guy to get them over the hump, and he's just not. This guy's not ready yet. Let me figure out what I want to do. I'll bring you back in when I've chosen the team and I have the package ready. But I don't, as of right now, I don't know which team I'm going to go with. I'm kind of leaning towards the Rams, but I'm not 100% sure just yet. Okay, I've chosen my team, the LA Rams. I was kind of leaning that way anyway. And I've chosen the package as well. Jared Goff in a 1-for-1 swap so the Broncos can at least have a starting quarterback option for the season, or the rest of the season. Bo Nix goes to the Rams. They also get back a young left tackle in return. Maybe he turns into something, maybe he doesn't. But then you also get a first-round pick this year and a second-round pick next year for Bo Nix to go. Never mind that too much money. Darn you, Jared Goff. Darn you, Jared Goff. So now Jared Goff can't be part of the deal because I didn't realize that the salary cap was. I can't believe I didn't realize that. I guess I thought because Bo Nix's money was so much that it would cancel each other out. I guess I was wrong there because that doesn't make any sense. So if we're going to do this, then they're going to have to throw in another first round pick. And then they're just going to have no quarterback. You know, I might sign them a quarterback in free agency just so they have somebody because right now they have nobody. They have these guys who are bums. So 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a left tackle. That will be the trade. There we go. The Bo Nix deal has been done. He's now no longer a Denver Bronco. It didn't work, unfortunately, for him. But before I forget, let's just go sign a quarterback in free agency so they can at least have somebody. I don't know who's in free agency, but let's see. So at quarterback, you've got nobody. Okay. Oh, Deshaun Watson. Who's going to be their starting quarterback for the rest of the season? There's only a couple guys that would be a higher overall than what they have here. So I guess we're going to give them Danny Dimes for the rest of the year. Oh, never mind. They can't afford Danny Dimes. Wow, the Broncos are in trouble. They can't afford any of these guys, so it's going to have to be Max Brosmer, I'm assuming. Yeah, there's no quarterback that's under $1 million. Max Brosmer is going to have to be your starting quarterback for the rest of the year. But you know what? That's probably fine because you're trying to get as good of a pick as possible to get a good quarterback. So we'll see what the Broncos do. Other trades for Denver. Quinn Miners is definitely somebody I would look to trade. And maybe even package alongside Talanoa Hufanga. The only problem with that is they're both making a lot of money and there might not be a team out there that can afford that. There is a couple of teams, the Patriots and Panthers are both teams. Oh, the Raiders. The Raiders have a ton of money. I forgot about that. Okay, so there's a few teams that can afford it. The Titans can also afford it, but the Titans are bad. I don't really want to send them to a bad team. We just did a deal with the Raiders. The Raiders could use a guy like Quinn Miners, but you've got Sean Bayer, who you probably want to start at right guard. So maybe they don't need a guy like Quinn Miners. But you have, okay, the Raiders aren't an option. They have 2 guys at the positions that were traded away. But the Patriots, on the other hand, who do they have at right guard? They've got Michael Wenyu still. Yeah, you probably use Quinn Miners for a season or two, and then strong safety you have nobody. Okay, so the Patriots actually are a viable team, but I just got to figure out the trade package to send back. Okay, so I've built a trade. It might not seem like a lot, but this guy out right here, Elton Anderson, I found him. He's 23 years old. He's got superstar dev. He's the future of the Denver Broncos. He's the future. He's your quarterback. And obviously, the Patriots don't need him. You've got Drake May. So they don't need Elton Anderson. You can send him to Denver. You can get two guys that can help you win right away. And then you give away two first round picks as well. And I like this deal so much. We finally found the Bronco quarterback, and I think that's going to help Denver out a lot. Maybe not this season, but that's going to give you an option for the future that may end up being better than Bo Nix. He's got a better depth trait than Bo Nix, so if he can just develop the right way, and you draft everybody well enough, you got three first round picks. You can build a super team with three first round picks if you draft right. The final piece of the trade, the final trade piece, I should say, that we're going to give up for the Denver Broncos to free up a little bit of cap space is Nick Bonito. Who needs an edge rusher in the NFL that's on a winning team that can afford him? The Colts don't need one. Nobody else can afford an edge rusher. The Panthers don't need one. The Raiders need one and can afford one. Do we send Nick Bonito to the Raiders? They don't have any draft capital. They have a first round pick. I wouldn't hate a first round pick for Nick Bonito. Also a third. So the Raiders are giving up a lot of draft capital. Try to win now. You've already got your quarterback, so you don't really need much else. And then maybe a first round pick a couple years from now with a second round pick thrown onto that. Just a bunch of draft picks to get Nick Bonito on the Raiders. I like it. We're going to do that trade. The Broncos have so much capital. If I'm usering the Denver Broncos, I am jealous. I am in heaven if I'm using the Denver Broncos. You've got four first round picks in this draft. You've got two first round picks next year, three first round picks the year after. You've got your quarterback now, presumably of the future. You just if you hit on even two of those four first round picks this year, you're back in the conversation. So the Raiders are done. The Raiders have blown up. They are ready to go. The next team we'll take on is the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think there's only going to be one trade we do, maybe two. Definitely the Trevor Lawrence deal. So here is your Jacksonville Jaguars. They are in a bad situation. You've got some very expensive contracts in Josh Hines Allen, who is 31 years old. You've got Jerry Jeudy, who we sent here to get back Travis Hunter. Your draft capital is in a weird spot. You don't have a ton. And you've got Trevor Lawrence, who is expensive and is not turning into the Trevor Lawrence you wanted. But you drafted somebody in the first round early on in Braxton Cousins, who I think they want to give a chance to. So Trevor Lawrence is going to be out the door this year. He's no longer going to be the Jacksonville quarterback. Now, the problem is we got to find somebody to send or some place to send him. And with that expensive contract he's got, there might not be a team out there that can afford him. Maybe it ends up being the Raiders again. The Raiders might be the only team that can afford Trevor Lawrence. It looks like they are, actually. The Titans are the only other team that can afford him because the Titans have so much money. What if I send J.J. McCarthy? No, that doesn't free up any money. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to see. The Titans don't need Trevor Lawrence. You've got an X factor in Jamie Kerr just sitting here behind Cam Ward. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. The Steelers can't afford him. The Seahawks don't need him. There's not really any teams out here that can afford him, unfortunately. Maybe that Raider deal or the Jaguars Trevor Lawrence deal can't happen. I mean, you've got Roger D'Ampiero. I don't want to keep sending people to the Raiders, but there's only certain teams that can afford him, and the Raiders don't have any draft capital anymore. They traded it all away, and they don't necessarily need a quarterback. Ooh, we're in a weird spot now. We are in a weird spot now. Maybe a change of scenery for Baker. Does that work? No, that doesn't work. They need more money. Who else is expensive for the Bucks? You've got Vita Vea on a one-year deal. You've got Tristan Wirfs on a 2-year deal, but that doesn't even get you anywhere close, and that's way too much capital to give up. This might not be able to happen. I didn't realize that it would be so expensive to trade him away. Although we could do the Trevor Lawrence Tua swap, we'd have to give up more money back in return to the Cardinals. I guess that could be Jerry Jeudy. Okay. So we send Jerry Jeudy to the Cardinals. Tua goes to the Jaguars. Obviously, Braxton Cousins would be the starter. Tua's got 4 years on that contract. Good God. But at least it's not the Raiders. Chargers give up a first-round pick as well, and a couple of seconds and a third, I think, gets that deal done. Is that really the trade that I want to do? I'm not sure if that's the trade. You know what? Let me think about it. Let me think on it a little bit, and then I'll come back. Okay, I thought on it for a little bit, and I think this is going to be the deal that I'm going to do. It's only because there's just not a lot of options. So Cardinals are going to get a younger quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, a couple years younger. They're also going to get a quality wide receiver in Jerry Jeudy. And then the Jaguars are going to get a few first-round picks, a couple second-round picks, and then they're going to get Tua Tagovailoa, but obviously Braxton Cousins will start over Tua. So that's going to be the deal for the Jaguars. They've officially ended the Trevor Lawrence era in Jacksonville. And then before I forget, okay, let's auto reorder just to confirm everything. And then we'll switch that so that Braxton Cousins is still the starting quarterback. Okay, perfect. So now Jerry Jeudy's out of there. What other trades would I want to make if I'm Jacksonville? You can't really afford anything else. The only other one would probably be Josh Hines-Allen. I could definitely see that being a trade. So maybe we send Josh Hines-Allen somewhere else. Is there anybody else that can afford him plus needs an edge rusher? The Broncos, they need one now that they don't have Nick Bonito. What about anybody else? The Raiders again, but they have Nick Bonito. The Seahawks we got done with them. And then the Titans. They have 2 edge rushers already. Man, not having any money is brutal because then you can't really do any big trades. So I guess that's enough trading for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It would make sense for them to trade Josh Hines-Allen because he's on an expensive contract. He's got 2 years left, but there's no other team in the NFL that can give up the value that they would need. Unless we try to go with, I mean, I guess we could send him to Denver and they could go for an all-in type of move where they give up one of their quarter. You know what? Let's do something like this. Let's get a little crazy. I know this is kind of counterintuitive for what we're trying to do, but let's give up 1 first-round pick this year, 1 first-round pick next year, a 2 next year to kind of recoup some of the value of the Denver Broncos or of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then we give them somebody else in return. And we'll say that the Broncos are trying to go all in because they've got their quarterback now. Maybe a little Drew Sanders action because the Jaguars need a Mike linebacker. You've got an old Foyesade Luakon. I think that'll be good. 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and Drew Sanders. And the Broncos got Josh Hines-Allen. All right. 1 more team left. Let's go blow up the final team on the list. Who is it? The final team on the list. I forget now. Who is the final team on the list? Oh, the Texans. That's right. Let's go rebuild the Texans and fix them and hopefully give them some good draft capital. Okay, so we're here with the Texans, and we're not going to trade Derek Stingley or Will Anderson Jr. I think those are still 2 pieces that they can move or they can keep and build around. But Nico Collins is certainly a guy that I could see getting out of here. Tank Dell even could be a guy that I could see getting out of here. And then certainly a guy like CJ Gardner-Johnson or Zach Bond, just guys that are a little bit older that aren't really helping this team develop in the future. But I think Nico Collins is probably the first guy on the list. So who can afford a guy like Nico Collins and who needs a guy like Nico Collins? I think a team like the Bills is a good spot for Nico Collins. He ends up helping out the Bills and Josh Allen, and then they could send back Keon Coleman, who needs honestly a change of scenery. So I actually think this is a perfect deal. It's not going to be a 1-for-1. I do think the Bills have to give up something else, maybe a second and a third for Nico. Plus you get Keon Coleman. Let's do that deal. Boom. Trade accepted. Nico Collins headed to the Buffalo Bills. It's basically a change of scenery for both teams, or for both players. Keon Coleman just needs something. He needs to have a different situation, different scenario. So he comes in, and he's 25, so maybe he can give CJ Stroud another weapon to deal with. But now you've got Tank Dell, who probably also needs to have a change of scenery. What team out there could use a wide receiver like Tank Dell? The Denver Broncos, like we talked about. They've got their young quarterback. Who else is out there? The Colts could use a guy like Tank Dell, maybe. You've got the Giants. You've got the Niners. The Niners aren't really in a situation that they could use. But the Giants, I could certainly see having a guy like Tank Dell on this roster. I could definitely see a guy like Tank Dell going to the Giants. So I'm going to put a trade together for Tank Dell, and he'll probably end up in New York. Well, I guess New Jersey. Okay, so this is going to be the trade package that the Giants send back. 2 second-round picks, Tyrone Tracy and Wan'Dale Robinson. Wan'Dale Robinson just to replace the body at wide receiver. Tyrone Tracy to give them a running back option because they've got Keaton Mitchell and Jacob Contreras, so they need somebody else to fill that running back hole. And then 2 second-round picks because I don't know if Tank Dell would go for a first, but he definitely would go for a second. So 2 second-round picks. He's 28. He's a little bit older. So that's going to be the deal we do for the Tank Dell trade. And I think that's going to be all for the trading for today. I don't think the Texans need to trade anybody else. They got rid of their 2 older receivers. I mean, I guess CJ Gardner-Johnson, but maybe not. Can they really get anything back for Gardner-Johnson? Is there a team that desperately needs a strong safety? Like, is there a winning team that desperately needs a strong safety? Because if there is, I might make the deal, but I mean, there's not really a team out there that could certainly use a strong safety. I mean, maybe the Rams. Cam Curl's not going to get it done. How do the Jets look at strong safety? Because the Jets are a winning team. They have Tony Adams and they have Malachi Moore. You know what? The Jets might actually be a viable situation for Gardner-Johnson to go. What about Zach Bond at will linebacker? Do they need a will linebacker too? They could use one. Maybe we just ship off both of these guys to the Jets who are on a Super Bowl path. The Jets give up a first and a second, and then a 2 and a 3. Maybe that's the deal. Okay, so I've added Kenneth Grant to the deal. I was trying to figure out how to fix the cap room, and I found that the Texans need a defensive tackle, and Kenneth Grant is the 3rd guy on their defensive tackle room. They have 2 guys that are better and younger than him. So their Jets are in a fine spot for defensive tackle. So Kenneth Grant's going to go to Houston. Zach Bond and CJ Gardner go to help out a team like the Jets who are in a win-now situation, and they don't need draft picks. So that's going to be the deal. And the final trade of the video has now been completed. So we have started the rebuilds for 4 different NFL teams. Hopefully they end up having success with those teams, or with those with the rebuilds that they're trying to do. And now it's time to get back to the Cleveland Browns. Since we did all of that trading, and it took almost an hour to do all that trading, and the video is already long enough, I think I'm only going to play the 1 game today, because going and playing a second game after the Patriot game would probably be a little bit too much. So if we go over the schedule, we'll just play the Patriot game, then we'll have a doubleheader with the Titans and Ravens, doubleheader with the Cowboys Jets, which we will have to play that Jets team, and then a doubleheader with the Bengals Commanders, and a doubleheader with the Bengals Buccaneers. So it ends up working out in the end, where it's 2 games per episode the rest of the way, which is perfect. So I think that's going to be how we do it, since this episode is already pretty long. So yeah, I'm going to go do the weekly strategies like I always do. If something happens, then I'll bring you back in with a dev trait increase or something. But if not, I will see you in Foxborough for the game against the Patriots.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. and Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where the keeper of the light sounds the fog bell to signal it's time for football. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap. It's the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots. On one sideline, there's the head coach of the Browns. His team comes in rested and ready off the mid-season bye week. On the other side, it's Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel. His guys come in off what he described as a strong week of practice, looking to put one in the win column in front of these home fans.
Here we go in Cleveland Brown franchise against the Patriots, and I'm just realizing that the kickoff specialist for the Patriots is wearing the number 12. That's a choice. That is definitely a choice by the team to give that jersey away. I don't think that would ever happen or ever will happen in real life. There will never be another person in the New England Patriots organization to wear number 12. But hey, you know what? If the kickoff specialist is good enough, maybe he can wear it. We're going to start this game, as we always do, with a handoff to the Q-man, Quinshawn Judkins. This Patriots team is not bad. They're not good, but they're not that bad. And they're starting out with good coverage there. I didn't think that they would have that good of coverage on Devontae Smith. And yes, they are wearing the quote-unquote old school uniforms, the ones from the Brady era, because they're just they're better. The new ones that they're not new anymore. They've worn it for a few years now. The ones that they wear currently, I guess I should say, are just not that good. I'm not a fan. They're fine other than the red striping on the shoulders. I don't know what that's all about. I don't like it. I guess it incorporates a little bit more red since the logo has red in it. Oh God. Quinshawn just obliterated the safety there. Oh, that's Hufanga. I forgot that he went to New England in the trade. Hufanga just got obliterated. It's funny for Hufanga. He had to play against us in Denver, and now he's got to play against us again now in the same season again as a New England Patriot. It's kind of good for him. He already beat us once. I guess he can tell the Patriots how to beat us. Although Bashal Tootin did not get the release that I was expecting him to get there. Do I send Devontae? I mean, I'm going to send him deep. I don't think he's going to be the option for me. But I'm going to send him deep regardless. I don't like anything here, but I'm going to have to hit somebody. And Velasco drops it. Maybe I should have waited on Devontae. Maybe Devontae was the option. Because I realized that safety wasn't actually tracking with him. So maybe Devontae Smith was actually the option there. I think Devontae Smith is the option this time, and he's going to win. It is Carlton Davis that we are abusing on that one, which is unfortunate for New England, but Devontae Smith with another touchdown continues his unbelievable season that he's having. He's going crazy. Definitely in line to win best receiver in the NFL, maybe even offensive player of the year. That is certainly a possibility, and Julian Enriquez just continues the season he's having. He's having a fantastic season, certainly the best season of his career, probably MVP candidate. I don't know if he's going to end up winning it or not, because there's definitely quarterbacks like Joe Burrow and guys like that always win it in these games. Oh, that ball's out! Recovered by the Patriots! Or, not by the Patriots, recovered by the Browns! I'm so used to saying that because I'm a Patriot fan. Recovered by the Browns! It was Captain Jack who recovered it. Who popped it? Who popped it? We are so good at popping balls out in kick returns. Oh, it was the Predator hunting the football. He pops it out in Captain Jack, Buckeye on Buckeye action. I love a good Buckeye on Buckeye action there. Chase Young and Jack Sawyer teaming up again to get that fumble. And an injury timeout for somebody. It's a New England Patriot who goes down. I couldn't see the name on the back of the jersey, so I don't know for sure who it is. But it gives us a chance to absolutely cook another great play. I did see the Saints record. I don't know if you peeped that at the bottom ticker there. The Saints are finally putting their pieces together. You remember last season, I was flabbergasted, straight up flabbergasted, at how the Saints had not put together a season that was better than what their roster said I mean, their roster was fantastic. and they were just struggling. And now they're finally putting up a season where they can respect the roster that they have and actually show that talent. Unfortunately, we just turned the ball over on down, so we can't capitalize on the fumble that we got. We can't capitalize on the fumble that we just got there from the New England Patriots. So Drake May in the offense will get the ball. We'll see what they can do with it. Drake May, he's going to get the ball away. All right. He wants to get the ball away. I guess. If he doesn't want to take the sack, that's totally fine. He should have. Hand off to Travion Henderson and Myles Garrett. If we think Travion's quick, I mean, Myles Garrett exploded to that play. Myles Garrett is a freaky, freaky kind of guy. That can't be caught, and it won't be. It is a 3-and-out for the New England Patriots. Xavier Legette was the man that was targeted there. So, unfortunately, it's not going to be 14-0 with a chance to go up 21-0. It is only 7-0 if we didn't get that fourth down that couldn't go through. I don't know what it is about us not being able to convert there. Maybe the Patriot defense is a little bit better than I'm giving them credit for. Although Christian Gonzalez and Devontae Smith is a kind of crazy matchup. Handoff, Quinshawn. Look at my man, Quinn. 5 for 29 already. Let's go for a little play action. Get Julian Enriquez on the run. Get him out in space. Maybe find Travis Hunter. Maybe Conrad Scholes. Somebody out there. Let's give it to Conrad. Conrad drops it. Man, the Patriots, I'll give them credit. They are playing some really tight coverages and allowing for or forcing my guys to drop these footballs. That's like the third one. Mostly it's been Eddie Velasco, but it's been like drop after drop for our guys. Nasty juke by Quinn. Good job, Q. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Ooh, they're going to press up. That is the wrong idea to press up. Although Devontae Smith is now being guarded by Christian Gonzalez on that side. Last time he was on that side, he was guarded by, what's-his-face? Carlton Davis. So we'll take away a couple yards there. This Patriots defense is playing pretty tough. Got to give them credit. But they can't keep guarding forever. Eddie Velasco makes a big play. Good job, Eddie. That'll be the end of the first quarter. Eddie Velasco's had a rough start to the game. He's had a couple drops. He's had a couple big catches, though. I don't really want to go for a run here. I think a pass is better. I wonder if Travis Hunter gets open on the corner. It'll be tight. I think he's open. He's open enough. Travis Hunter wide open. Touchdown, Browns. Travis Hunter. Julian Enriquez connection. We lead 14-0. This team is just on a different level. I don't know what else to say. I mean, for the past few episodes, we have been really this whole season, if we're being honest, except for that one slip up against the Broncos. This team has just been unstoppable. Oh, that ball's out again! And Jack Sawyer's got it again! And this time he's not going to be brought down! It is a recovery for a touchdown! And look at my boy, Captain Jack! Little shadow box action there, baby! Captain Jack Sawyer takes it to the house. It's another forced fumble by Chase Young. The Predator is in his hunting grounds, and he is feasting on New England Patriots. And look at Captain Jack with the shadow boxing. I don't know what's going on with Chase Young, though. He's popping bottles like crazy, like he's in the club. He's going absolutely insane. Another ball popped out, and this time Jack had enough room to get through, and then he goes a little shadow box action. I don't mind it. Don't mind a little shadow box. Although if I can find the right angle here. Let me get a little upper hook. Upper hook? What the heck is an upper hook? Let me get a little uppercut with the right hook. Ooh. Ooh. How do I want to get this? I'm gonna get a thumbnail with Captain Jack. I want to show some respect to the captain. But I want to get the right picture. He keeps going out of frame. Like he's a ghost. I guess I could do this one. This one's not bad. Although if I can get him in frame. The referee's kind of in the way, though. Where'd you go, Captain? There he is. All right, let's see how I can get him here. Um, that one's not bad. And yes, you do get to see my process in this. Sure, why not? We'll do with that. I'll just make it work in the edit. That is a 21-0 lead. Just think about if we would have been able to put that other touch on the board, it'd already be 28-0. But this one's going downhill quickly for the Patriots, and they're not even that bad of a team. They're 5-4. They're just getting unlucky. Chase Young is coming down, and he is popping balls out like crazy. Let's see if we can do it again. And Jack Sawyer just happens to be the guy who always recovers it. Can I do it again? Oh, I didn't turn into the right guy. I might have been able to do it again, but it turned me into somebody else and not Chase Young. That was unfortunate. Who knows? Maybe I could have done it. But we want to see the defense on the field. I want to see this defense get some big-time opportunities. I want to see a sack. I want to see an interception. I want to see some big-time plays from some big-time players. We all bid on the play action. Thankfully, Drake May overthrew his intended receiver, Demario Pop Douglas. But 3 players, including me, the user, bit on the play action. That just tells you how dangerous Trayvon Henderson is. Drake steps up. He fires another overthrow. J.C. Horn waving the finger like he did something there. He didn't really do much. That was all Drake May missing. And it'll be another punt for New England. Brooks is back to return. Throw me a block. Kyle Hamilton, he did. And that'll get me a couple extra yards. Good job, Brooks. All right, back on the field is your New England Patriots. What do we have here? A little play action. Get that ball away because New England was not fooled by it. Unlike me, who got absolutely killed on the play action. Thankfully, Drake May missed his throw. New England was not as stupid. They did not fall for it. That's open enough. And it's a bad throw from Enriquez, and that's not Velasco's fault. Enriquez does not really make those mistakes anymore. He's had a couple this season, but not as many as he had the first couple years of his career. I thought he was kind of all done with that. Unfortunately, that's a really bad throw, but Devontae Smith makes that work. He makes it work. 4 minutes to go in the half where we will start with the ball. No, New England starts with the ball, I think. Yeah, because we scored the first possession of the game. That's right. Quinshon's still getting his numbers. Let's see what we got out here. What do we got? We got a little Travis Hunter quick throw. He caught it and held on. I wasn't sure he was going to hold on to that. I threw it a little bit later than I wanted to. Devontae Smith has the opportunity to put on some nasty work here on the route running. Ooh, but it's not there. Christian Gonzalez, you got to give him credit. He's one of the best corners in the league for a reason. He stayed with Devontae on all those route combinations he was putting together. But can he stay with him with just a straight up go route? Not really, but I can't throw it to him because the safety was there. So we'll just hit a little Conrad Scholes action, who's having a pretty good season as well. And then hand off to Jonathan Taylor, who maybe can score a touchdown on this if the blocking is right. No, the blocking was not right at all. Taylor gets nothing, but I'll run some hurry up. We'll give Taylor another opportunity because I think that blocking was a one-off. Or maybe it wasn't. He's able to get the first down, but maybe that blocking was normal. That looks like Milton Williams, actually. That's not a good thing if it is. Milton Williams might be donezo. Harold Fannin running that route. I don't necessarily like that, but if he gets open, which I think he will, Harold Fannin, big-time throw, touchdown catch. Enriquez going crazy. Let's send that ball through. It is 28-0. Looks like you're not going to be seeing much of the second half. You'll see the first drive of the third quarter for both teams, but you're not going to see much more after that. It's already 28-0. And if we pop a ball out again, like we have been previously, who knows what the score is going to end up being. Another hit stick. Oh my God, Kyle Hamilton did hit the hit stick, but he did not pop the ball out. There was not a fumble. I thought maybe. I mean, you never know the way that this ball's been flying around. But Drake May in the offense will come back on the field. He's scrambling. He's finding his open receiver. It's Xavier Legette for the catch. I wasn't sure he was going to throw that. Or if he did, I wasn't sure if he's going to make an accurate throw. It looked like it was going to be overthrown. Travion is swallowed up in the backfield for a loss of 1 in the play. That's the 2-minute warning. It is ugly here in Foxborough. 28-0 Cleveland leads. Vrabel cannot be happy. I would not be happy if I was the Patriots. It hurts me to do this. I never want to have to kill my favorite team the way that I'm doing, but this Browns team is just on a different level. I'm very curious to see how that Jets game goes in a couple of episodes. That Jets game is going to be our real true test of how good of a football team we are this year. Because the Jets are also right on that same level as us. And it'll be our first time ever seeing Emmanuel Cologne, the former first-round quarterback. So that'll be cool as well. That's a crazy, actually, really good throw. Kyle Williams scores. The Patriots, maybe the rally's back on. That was a really solid drive from Drake May. He still got it. You still got it. You still got it. All right. Back on offense for the Browns. 1:29 to go. Shouldn't be too much effort for us. As long as we can get a good kick return from Emmett Streets. And he's going to give us a solid one up to the 32. That's pretty good. We can work with that. Let me give a double in sail. Sail. 1:25. Let's go quick to Velasco. Up the field. He gets the first down. We'll run some hurry up. Run it back, baby. Run it back. And then probably go same direction here. Yeah, Velasco's open again. Might as well hit him. And we're already in a field goal range just like that with 3 timeouts remaining. We'll run it back again. Exact same play. But probably not throwing to Velasco here because usually the third time you run the same play, they figure it out. Although they didn't really do it. Velasco's still open. It's another first down. I think I'll call my first timeout today. And now we're in a situation where we can run the ball. We are in perfect field goal range. We still have timeouts. And a little bit of time on the clock. Although that's not a great run. The Patriots, got to give them credit. They have been really good at coverages down the field. Except for the Devontae Smith touchdown catch. And they've been really good at stopping the run. That's a really good throw. Carlton Davis stayed with Travis Hunter, which I was not expecting. I think the Patriots would be in this game if they didn't have those unfortunate. That's a tough drop from Travis Hunter. If they didn't have those unfortunate fumble that we recovered on the kick returns, because the Patriots haven't played horrible in this game, especially their defense. That's going to be dropped by Hunter. So many missed opportunities, man. That's 2 4th downs we've turned the ball over because of not being able to convert. And Hunter should have had that, if we're being honest. He should have had that. Uh-oh, Travion's got room. Travion Henderson breaks the tackle, stiff arm. He's off to the races. Touchdown, Patriots. Wow, a stiff arm, and that's all it took. I still don't think you're going to see much of the second half, but this, I mean, that's brutal, the fact that he stiff-armed and broke the tackle and got to the end zone. I mean, there was no way Mason Graham was going to catch him, obviously. That is tough. That's tough scenes right there. So what ends up being a 4-touchdown game already has become a 2-touchdown game within the span of like a couple of minutes. I'm not quite sure how this has even turned into a 2-touchdown game. Just a couple of mistakes from us not being able to convert on 4th down. Maybe I should have taken the 3 points, you could argue. I just felt like I could get those first downs on 4th. I was clearly wrong. And now we got to try our best to get closer. That's going to be our final timeout. We've got 8 seconds remaining. I think my only option is just to chuck one down the field and hope that Devontae Smith can bring it in. He's done crazier things. Devontae Smith down the field. I was trying to get pass interference. I didn't even get an animation. But thankfully the ball went down before the time expired. So we have one more shot at it. I'm not going to get it away. They brought too much pressure. Well, they didn't bring too much pressure. Somebody just got through. Okay, so a little bit of an ugly end of the half with the Patriots getting 2 touchdowns. I'm a little bit annoyed by it, but I still don't think we're in danger of losing this game. We've kind of dominated, and as long as I get back to what I was doing previously, which was running the ball, throwing the easy open stuff, we shouldn't have to worry too much about losing this game. Are we not going to get any highlights? Halftime highlights? It looks like it's just... Okay, it's just our highlights. All right. I didn't know we get any highlights around the league. I guess not. 224 yards and 3 touchdowns for Enriquez is already a pretty good day. But yeah, I don't think you're going to see much more of this game because what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the ball after our first drive. So hopefully everything goes our way. There's a hit stick, but he doesn't fumble it for the first time. When Chase Young hit him, he doesn't fumble it. We must have just got super lucky on those couple early ones. Let's see if Garrett can get to the quarterback. Travion's making some crazy decisions, man. Travion Henderson is a weapon. He is an absolute weapon at the running back position. But I want to see if Myles Garrett can get to the quarterback because he's had a really good season so far, and I'd love for that to continue if he can get like 1 or 2 more sacks on the game. It'd be really nice. Hand off to Henderson. He's going to not get the first. I got super lucky on that. I dove a little bit earlier than I should have, and I got really lucky there. All right, this looks like a QB sneak, and I'll be right there. Jahad Campbell shuts down the QB sneak, and Drake May and the offense don't get it, but they will go for this. 4th down and 1 in the shotgun. Drake's going to throw it quick. I wasn't prepared for the quick throw. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought he would try to design. I guess I should have been quick. I should have been ready for the quick throw. And they convert on 4th down. I guess they think they have a chance to win this game. They don't. They just don't know that. They don't have a chance to win it. They just don't know it. Hand out to Travion. He's going to get swallowed up. 3rd and 6. Xavier Legette talking some trash there, it looked like. Although he still had the mouthpiece in, so you can't really understand him. That's a quick throw. Good tackle, but it's a 1st down, Kyle Williams. I feel like that's a generous call. I don't think he got the 1st down, but whatever. They gave it to him anyway. This has got to be a sack. It's not going to be. It is an incomplete pass, though. I dove as quick as I could. Like, I dove the immediate, the instant that I got free, I dove, and he still was able to get it away. Not sure how much faster I have to be. That's incomplete pass. I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for him to throw incomplete passes. Come on, Miles. Just get to the quarterback. Just get to Drake May, and this drive will be over. He's not going to. A little bit of a low throw, but it's going to be a 1st down, massive hit. No fumble. But a 1st down conversion. And you know what? At this point, we might as well just play out the whole game and you can stay around because they're already almost the end of the 3rd quarter in this one drive. They're doing classic juice techniques here. Almost intercepted off the hands of Kyle Hamilton. You can't miss that type of throw or that type of catch, Kyle. You got to bring that in. I know you're not a wide receiver or anything, but you gotta bring that in. That's a interception you got to easily catch there. Hand out to Travion. He's shifty. He's going to get to the 16. But they're doing classic juice tactics. They're using the entire 3rd quarter clock on this one drive. And for some reason, they think they can win this game. Drake May, overthrow, 4th and 3. Do they kick the field goal? No, they're going to go for it. I respect it. You're down 2 touchdowns in the late 3rd quarter action. You need touchdowns. They are going to go for it here. Drake's going to fire. He's got his man. It's Douglas. 1st down, New England. We keep getting them in these situations where they have to go for it on 4th, and then they keep converting. We just can't close the deal. Handoff, Travion. Yes! He would have had a touchdown if J.C. Horn didn't save that. It's a big play. This will be the final play of the quarter, though. They've used the entire 3rd quarter of this one drive, and they don't even get the playoff. Wow. I've never seen the CPU do that. I've never seen the CPU use an entire quarter on one single drive. Those are expert juice tactics right there. That's a catch, and that is a 3rd and inches call. No touchdown given. The ball didn't cross. And here we go. 3rd and inches from the 1. It's a QB sneak, and Drake May's in. Touchdown, Patriots. They are in this game. How? We were up 28-0. How did it become a one-score game here? I thought we were about to kill them by 40. But somehow the Patriots have fought their way back. Now, it has resulted, we have given up points. We've left points on the board, that is for sure. We had 2 different drives in the Patriot red zone that we turned over on downs. So we've had opportunities to put up even more touchdowns and put this game officially away, but we've missed those opportunities. So that can also be a problem for us. But as long as we can control this game, we shouldn't have any worries about the Patriots coming back and winning. I need Quinshon to make his break. He does. He's got the first and extra. Quinshon Judkins, having a running back that's good at catching the football is such a nice thing, because you got a guy that can hit you both ways. He's not just dangerous on the ground, he's dangerous through the air as well. But the Patriot run defense is doing a really good job of not letting Quinshon really make those breaks, because that's how we dominate our games, really. Yeah, we sometimes pass the ball like we might do right here, but for the most part, we are a run team. Does Travis Hunter have this? He does! It's a touchdown, and again, it's on Carlton Davis. He's getting cooked. Carlton Davis can't handle it. And another big passing day for Julian Enriquez. He's got to be in MVP conversation. He might not win it, but he's definitely in the conversation. He's having a great season. Certainly his best season in his career. Certainly. Can we get the magic luck again and force another fumble? Lance Dunbar hit him hard, but Marcus Jones is starting to put maybe a little stickum on those gloves to hold that football. He's not letting it loose. Come on, get to Drake May. Somebody get to Drake May. We did, but he just gets it away again. I hate when quarterbacks do that, man. That's so frustrating. We work so hard to get to the quarterback, and we do it as quick as we can, and yet still the quarterback somehow finds it in his abilities to throw the ball away. Travion Henderson, man. Travion Henderson has kept this Patriots team alive. This is one of the most yards we've allowed up as a defense on the ground. We are usually not allowing over 50 yards or 60 yards, but for some reason, Travion, he's just a different animal. Travion's a freak. He's got over 100. A rare feat for an opposing running back. That's a quick throw. Another overthrow. That's got to be like 6 overthrows for Drake May. He's had a bunch. I almost got to him again. Another overthrow. I almost got to him again, man. He just gets the ball away right before. You can't. It's so frustrating when you get so close every time. That's another throw. This time it's intercepted. It's Denzel Ward, the veteran. Drake May tried to throw quick on the flat to Xavier Legette. Did not work, and Denzel Ward makes him pay. That's what we needed. We needed some sort of swing of the momentum back in our favor fully. It was kind of already going that way, but swinging it back fully now in our favor. Massive interception. Handoff Quinshon. He's not going to get much. Timeout called by the Patriots. Even down 2 touchdowns, they think they can still win this game. You can't. You couldn't win the game when you were down by a single touchdown. Conrad Scholes, first down, Cleveland. 284 and 4 touchdowns for Julian Enriquez today. Scholes might have iced it, but we need probably 1 or 2 more touchdowns to actually ice it. Quinshon almost got it right there. Final timeout used by Vrabel and the Patriots. We'll get this first down. We'll go to the 2-minute warning, then get 1 more, and then that'll be the game. Handoff, Quinshon. He gets the first. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Eventually, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. I'm not going to snap this football. Oh, I mean, the Patriots gave us a little bit of a challenge there. They gave us more of a challenge than I expected. I mean, especially when we went up 28 to nothing. I thought it was completely over. But then they score what, 28 on or 21 unanswered? A little bit sketchy there. But we ended up holding on, surviving. We did benefit from those fumbles on the kick returns. We certainly did benefit from those. I mean, I said it from the beginning. I said that the Patriots weren't playing bad. They were just getting unlucky with those fumbles. God, they are not letting me run the football at all. I was surprised Quinshawn's got as many yards as he does because their run defense has been top notch today. About a minute to go. Quick throw, Devontae Smith. He drops it. Really, Devontae? You're going to drop that? I could take the points. He wants a flag. He's not going to get one. I could take the points, but I'm going to go for it again because why not? I don't learn from my previous errors. And that's off the hands. I mean, it wouldn't have got there anyway. He would have been tackled immediately, but it's off the hands of Travis Hunter. I thought about going to Conrad Scholes in the end zone. I just didn't think he was open enough. And I don't want to throw a pick, so maybe played a little bit too conservative. But Patriots, even if they score, they got less than a minute, and they're down 2 touchdowns, so they have to get the onside kick, which I doubt they're going to do. They're going to waste our time with a spike. I should have just kneeled it. They're going to waste our time with spikes. You can't win this game. You just can't. So why are you trying to spike it? That's another overthrow. I mean, you maybe could have won this game if Drake May didn't overthrow every single pass of the entire game. That's what it felt like he's done. Maybe you could have won this game, but you've already gotten to a 4th and 4 because you wasted it down on the spike, and you're probably going to spike it now because you got that first down. No, they're not going to spike it. Drake's actually in the shotgun. I'm a little bit sad that Myles Garrett hasn't been able to get to the quarterback. We've gotten to the quarterback. I shouldn't say he hasn't been able to get to We've gotten to the quarterback. We just haven't been able to bring him down because Drake May has just been able to get it away, unfortunately. That is another throw. Keep him in bounds. Good job. 3rd and 9. Clock moving. 15 seconds remain. Probably 2 plays. Oh, Garrett got absolutely squashed there. It'll be flag. Did he step out of bounds? What happened? Illegal touch? I didn't even notice him step out of bounds until he was already out of the end zone, or out of bounds. We'll go 4th and 9, and it'll be the final play of the game. Well, maybe not the official final play of the game, but the final play for the Patriots. Because even if they get the first down here, I doubt that they're going to be able to get up and spike it. Can Myles Garrett finally get a sack? No, he can't. It'll be a sack on... Is it a sack, actually? I'm not sure if they counted that as a sack or not. But then we will officially spike it. And we will win 35-21. Another really good day for Enriquez. He had 4 touchdowns, almost 300 yards. Pretty solid day. Hopefully that keeps him in the running with guys like Joe Burrow. We'll take a look at that when we simulate. But another big win, and Conrad Scholes gets an upgrade point. Good for him. That's a huge upgrade. That gets a lot of stuff. Good for Conrad. We've got another QB breakout. Tell him, did I actually get it this time? I've been feeling locked in lately. Yeah, I know, Julian. You've been having a great season. I'm trying to get you X Factor. You just won't get it. He earns 4,500 more XP. And I'm assuming we're going to have a breakout scenario for next episode. But we're 8-1. 8-1 on the season. We're having a great year. Yep, there's quarterback breakout part 2. The forecast is heavy rain, though. That's not good. We take on the Titans in Sunday night primetime and then the Ravens in the next episode as well. Unfortunately, that game did not get Julian Enriquez back into the top 3 for yards. We have nobody in the running for anything right now. The Jets must have had the bye week, so we are 8-1. They're 7-2. It's really just us for the 1 seed. It's us and the Jets for the 1 seed. We'll see what happens. That's going to do for the episode, though. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel for more, join the Juice Club, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.